Hello everyone, today we will be discussing about our fourth practical, that is to study the full wave rectifier circuit. Study means to study the input and output waveforms of a full wave rectifier circuit. So lastly we have studied and done the half wave rectifier which constitute of a single diode that constitutes current when the diode is forward biased. So either in the positive cycle of the diode of the input signal, the diode is forward biased and it conducts, thus we only get one of the cycle being rectified at the output. So in the previous arrangement we have found that for the positive cycle only the diode conducts, and for the negative cycle the diode is reverse bias and it doesn't conduct. So only the positive cycle part is being rectified at the output. Now for a full wave rectifier circuit, the most important thing is that we need a special type of transformer. Here you can see the voltage rating, that is 12 volt transformer. So 12 that is we need a special type of transformer that is known as a center tapped transformer. That means there will be a tapped line that should be that is there from the transformer secondary other than its two peak terminals. So the two peak terminals are of value 12 volt and 12 volt, and the center terminal that is being linked out from the transformer secondary of that transformer, that is of the zero potential. Okay, so total the transformer has a 24 volt value with correspondence to ground or zero. Okay, and we definitely need two diodes. So for the both the cycles to of the input signal to be rectified at the output, we need two diodes. For the positive half cycle, one of the diode will be on and another one will be off, and for the negative cycle one of the diode will be on and the other will be off. Now that is how the diode will conduct, and we will get a total rectified output of the full swing signal. And what else? We need a capacitor for a filtering purpose, and rest everything is same as of the half wave rectifier. The only thing is that we will be skipping about the load regulation part. The load regulation part is already being taught or done by you in the Zener diode practical, so it is same, so we will be skipping that. So we will be only focusing about to study the input and output waveform of a full wave rectifier circuit with and without filter. Now coming to the circuit diagram, here you can see the transformer. So it has the secondary of the transformer has a tapping line connected out, linked out from the at a center point here as far the diagram says, and it has two voltage levels, 12 volt and 12 volt, so total 24 volt. So let us understand the working of this circuit. So basically it is without filter, so we'll get the rectified output across the load RL. So during the positive half cycle, now let us move on to the diagram of the input signal. Now this is the input signal, this is the positive half cycle and this is the negative half cycle. So the output will be like this as it is shown, output from D1 and D2. So in the positive half cycle the diode D1 will conduct and you can see this output, and from the negative half cycle the diode D2 will conduct and will get this rectified output. So for a complete full swing signal of the input you will get a complete rectified output. Now coming back to the circuit, so here you can see 12. So suppose for the positive cycle this is at positive potential and this is at minus potential. So similarly again this will be at positive potential and this will be at negative potential, since the same signal is being splitted into halves. Okay, so due to this is plus, this is minus, again this is plus, this is minus, so D2 will be reverse bias, that it will not conduct, and D1 definitely conduct because it is at positive potential in the positive cycle of the input signal. So diode D1 will conduct. So since diode D1 will conduct, current will flow through RL to the ground, and we will get the first rectified output for the positive half cycle of the input. And now consider about the negative half cycle. Now this is minus potential, this is plus, again this is minus, this is plus. So since this is minus, that means diode D1 is at reverse bias, so it will definitely be in off state, and diode D2 will be forward bias, because minus plus minus plus. So in the negative cycle, so diode D2 becomes on. Since D2 turns on, it will follow this path and the current will flow through RL. And now for the negative half cycle also we will get the rectified output. So this is the basic operation of a rectifier, full wave rectifier without filter. Let us come to the circuit with filter. Now here you can see a capacitor is being placed in parallel to RL. So whatever the AC component being present at the output, the capacitor filters action is to filter out that AC signal and blocking the DC signal. So only thing remains is the DC signal at the output. So more will be the value of capacitance, the lesser will be the reactance, the more AC will bypass through this capacitor. And since for a DC signal its frequency is 0 and the reactance of a capacitor is 1 by 2fc, so 1 upon 0 will be infinite, so the DC signal will definitely be blocked. So the DC signal will not bypass through this capacitor, so we will get a pure DC at the output and the AC signal will be bypassed. Rest operation is same as of with the without filter circuit. Now this is the circuit diagram of the full wave rectifier. Here you can see a transformer, a center tapped transformer. This 0 potential is being connected to ground, as you can see. So this is 12 and this is 12, so definitely we will be getting around 24 volt if it is measured across the two terminals of the transformer. So we have placed a AC voltmeter here at the input also and at the output of the transformer secondary, and we have also placed a AC voltmeter across the load resistance having value 10k, so that we can measure the voltage across the load. So definitely we will be using a 220 volt AC line, and these voltages are all in the RMS value that is being shown in the meter. So you cannot see directly 12 volt or 24 volt because we are measuring between the two terminals, so we need to get 24 volt, but we will not get 24 volt since the value that is being shown over here is not the normal AC voltage, it is the RMS value that is being measured through these meters. So we will get back to that, whether the value that is being shown in the meter will be correct or we are getting that 12 volt or not, that will be verified. So let us start the simulation. Now you can see the input is of 220 volt AC and the voltage from the transformer secondary measured between the two terminals is 34 volt. So this is basically the RMS value. It should come out to be 24, but since the meter show RMS value, so it is showing the RMS value. We will verify that whether it is 24 volt or not, and the output load AC voltage is coming out to be 16.5 volt. Now here you can see the output RMS voltage of the transformer secondary is given by this formula. Vrms is equal to 2 V full cycle by root 2 full cycle, means total the voltage across the two terminals of the transformer, not between one terminal and the center tap. So the the two terminal voltage is being shown as V full cycle. So Vrms we already measured that it is around 34 volt. Now using this formula we will find out that what is the value of V full cycle. So V full cycle using this formula, Vrms measured, that is known 34 into root 2 whole divided by 2 will give out a value near about 24 volt. Thus we can verify that we get a 12 volt transformer, because the total two terminal voltage full cycle voltage is measured out to be 24 volt, because the RMS measured corresponding RMS being measured in the meter is 34 volt. So if you split this, we will get 12 0 12 volt. So the transformer's voltage levels are being verified. Okay, now let us move on to the output RMS voltage at the load. So VRMS measured is around 16.5. Once again, let's see that. Yes, the voltage across the load is around 16.5 volt. So this is the RMS measured voltage at the output. So by using this formula, VPK is equal to root 2 times of Vrms, we will find out the peak voltage or Vm. It is already being noted or given in your manual. So Vrms is equal to Vm by root 2. So Vm and VPK don't get confused, both are same. The notations I have just changed the nomenclature. Vm has been transferred to VPK. So we need to find out the VPK. So VPK is equal to root 2 times of Vrms. So that we have found, it will be coming out to be around root 2 times of 16.5. we will get a value near about 23.3 something like that. So for easier calculation purpose, I have rounded up the figure value to 24 volt. Again VDC will be again going back to the formula. It is written VDC is equal to twice Vm by pi. From this formula we will find out VDC. So VDC is equal to twice Vm or Vpk by pi. So 2 by pi will give out a value of 0.636 into 24 volt, that is Vpk, that we have just found, will be equal to 15.3 volt. So VDC is around 15.3 volt and Vrms measured is around 16.5 volt. Now you need to find out the ripple factor using the formula root over Vrms by VDC whole square minus 1. Theoretically it should come out around 0.482. Practically you have found out the value 16.5 and 15.3. Vrms is 16.5 and VDC is 15.3. Place these two values in this formula and you will find out the ripple factor, practical ripple factor. Now coming back to the simulation, now we need to see the input and output waveform through this digital CRO. Now let us see that. Here you can see, so the yellow is the input signal and the red one is the output signal. So for the positive half cycle we are getting, and also for the negative half cycle we are also getting. Now I have merged these two so that you can get the idea how it is actually happening. For the positive cycle D1 is conducting and we are getting the output, and for the negative half cycle D2 is conducting and we are getting this output. Now if we separate this, I will get separately, distinctly we can see the input and output waveforms. So yellow is the input one and red one is the output one. Okay. So this is the case of input and output waveform that is being noted for a full wave rectifier. So both the complete cycle of the input is being rectified at the output, but since the circuit we are seeing is without a filter, so output we are getting a near about sinusoid signal because it has a average DC present in it. So that's why it is not a pure DC, it is basically an AC signal that is being superimposed upon the DC. Now here you can see the circuit diagram with filter. I have placed a capacitor in parallel to the load. So basically I have used a C-type filter. The capacitance value is around 1000 microfarad. So this is the AC voltage that is being found out at the load, and it is near about 23.4. so we have found correctly. So according to the calculations also at the output you can see that it is coming out near, I have told that VPK it will be coming out near about to this value. So let us go back to the circuit diagram. So this is the circuit diagram. So for the full wave rectifier with filter, so we have designed exactly the same thing. I have placed the capacitor. Now let us quickly see the output waveform. Before seeing the output waveform, let us see the drawn waveform. So here you can see a zigzag, that is the capacitor is being charging over here, again it is discharging, again it is charging back. Okay, Now this output can be smooth if the capacitor value is high, and you will get a zigzag motion if the capacitor value is low. Now quickly see that. Now let us see. So you can see the DC, you can see a pure DC at the output. You can see a pure DC at the output, since the mode is the capacitor value. Now if we change the capacitor value, we will see the zigzag. So let me change it. So I will be changing it to 10 microfarad. Okay, now again I need to see the waveform. Here clearly you can see the zigzag motion. Okay, the charging as the discharging action of the capacitor you can see of the capacitor at the output. The positive half cycle, it is being charging from this potential to this potential. Again it is discharging back till the negative peak is coming out. Again at the negative, coming to the negative peak, it is again being charging back to the maximum level. Again when the negative peak is crossed over, it is again starting to decrease, discharge. Again at the arrival of the next negative next positive half cycle of the input signal, it is again charging back to the last charge level, to the maximum charge level, and again after crossing the positive cycle peak, it will again start to discharge. So this zigzag is the output waveform through the capacitor. So if I increase the capacitor value like the previous one, we will get a smooth DC. Okay, so this is having a value of around 23.5, nearly about the value, and the input signal, you know, it is around 24 volt. So that's all for the full wave rectifier circuit with filter and without filter. And for the assignment part, I will explain the graph in detail so that you can understand the graph operation, and you can plot the graph in the assignment. Thank you.